My addiction started back in my teens. I got in a car wreck. I ended up having to go to the hospital, and a doctor prescribed prescription painkillers for me.
It went right from painkillers to heroin really quick. It was like within 6 months that my buddy was just like, hey, don't have any Percocet right now, but I got some heroin, and I was like, well, might as well try that.
I try to rationalize it as, oh, it's an opiate. It's the same as taking a Vicodin, just a little stronger. And it didn't work out too well for me.
I almost lost my wife to a heroin overdose, and that's what kind of really started to put my whole life into, turmoil, almost losing her. The woman I love is dying right in front of me.
I hurt my family a lot. My mom, my little brothers and sister, my stepdad. I had family I hadn't talked to in a decade.
A lot of times you'd be sitting watching TV and Daddy would be sick on the couch. Or I'd be outside getting high. And he'd be left to his own devices at the age of 3, which is unbelievable.
The craziest things that drove me to do, I robbed a 7-Eleven, which was my felony, and just to get money to get high.
Started selling drugs to support my habit.
That's my rock bottom, when I'm okay with going to jail and it not bothering me. It seeming better than being on the street.
Took away from my own son to help support my addiction. My sister, I had got her addicted to heroin.
Heroin's such a devastating drug. It destroys the body, the mind, the soul. When I came into the ministry, I don't think I weighed 100 pounds. And I came in, I had used right before I came in that morning. I don't remember much about that morning.
Brandon Dahman and Richard Chamberlain, they both came in the same day as me, and we made it all the way through.
The 2 guys that were sitting up in that front row with me, Evan and Richard, are 2 of my best friends that I'll ever have in my life.
And pulling up to the farm, I was just like, I felt like a peace when I was there, just seeing the house, and then just a couple of guys standing outside. And as soon as I stepped off the bus, they just started hugging me and told me they loved me.
Everyone was coming up trying to hug me, call me brother, and I was just like, whoa, what have I gotten into? Like, these people are way too happy.
So when I came to the Refuge, I didn't know who Christ was. I didn't know who God was. I didn't even know anything in the Bible whatsoever. Never opened one.
It was either the first or second night I remember laying in my bed and just opening it up and just read a couple things that was already highlighted in it. And the first verse I read was Psalms 37:24, and it said, "Though they stumble, they will never fall, for the Lord holds them by the hand." And that was a moment to where I was like, when I was able to read the Bible and understand it, like it wasn't like I was just reading words on a paper, but like it was talking to me, because I needed that right at that time.
I remember thinking like this could be the place where like all that stuff that I thought was impossible, all those spiritual and family barriers that I could never get over, like this is the place that I'm going to learn how to do that stuff.
And I always planned on leaving after a couple months, but I just saw myself changing, like in the way I thought and acted, and like I was becoming a good person.
Brandon, Richard, myself, there were several of us. We got baptized right in the creek. I'll never forget it.
To me, it was being reborn in Christ and showing that across the whole congregation. So it was really nice to be basically washing the blood behind my sins and be reborn. So I was really excited about, for me, it was kind of like starting over and from scratch and not having all the sin that I used to have. My restoration of my family has been really awesome. It started back right the day I came in, them seeing me come in and, like wanting to try. Then first family day came, I had a few family members come. By the time I got my last family day, I think we had like 16 people show up and had our own potluck. Everyone excited and hugging me and telling how proud they are of me.
I've come a long way, man, from them ignoring my calls to wanting to help me succeed in life again. So.
Jaden was able to come to the second family day. My mom leans down and taps him on the shoulder and says, "There he is." He just looks up, biggest smile comes across his face, and he takes off running and, jumps on me. And seeing him excited to see me for the first time in a while was, it was, can't even describe it.
I seen their car pull up, and just just the feeling of, just like my son's in that car. And then when I seen them get out and then that door open, I just seen him kind of just run. But just seeing him smile, man, and just come running at me, and I just picked him up and gave him a big old hug, and gave him a mom, held him hug. And
when my son wants to go to the park, I can get up and go to the park with him, sit down, read books to him, read Bible stories with him. It's a completely new family.
There were several coordinators when I was going through. Nate, Sean, Michael. These guys just made such an incredible impact on my life because of how dedicated they were to doing it. I'd gotten my entire life back, and I just wanted to be, I don't know, and I wanted God to use me to help do that for somebody else.
I'm coordinating currently in fourth phase, and I'll continue that for 6 months. I like guys knowing that, hey, I'm here to walk beside you, and I've been there before too.
So I'm back in phase 1. I get to see Jesus work every day. I'm spreading the good news, teaching the gospel, and I couldn't be happier. There's nothing in the world that I'd rather be doing right now.
I told somebody last week, so it wasn't a heroin epidemic for me. It wasn't a drug epidemic. It was a lack of God epidemic.
1 Corinthians 2:15, but he that is spiritual judges all things, yet he himself is judge of no man. My heart and my mind are renewed, and no natural man can judge me.
It's things that I've managed to destroy over a period of 5 years. God's restoring it in a matter of 13 months. Man, it's awesome.
Don't be anxious about anything, man. Just trust God. The more obedient you are, the more God's going to bless you.
This is the place where you can go, and if you allow Christ to work in your life, that He will change you.
Coming through here, I've got a large group of brothers now that I know if I need anything, they'll be there to help me out.
They actually care about you and your soul, and they love God through you. All the Refuge is about is loving your brothers and just trying to take that out into the world.